YouTube is going after Twitch with a new gaming app. Uber says China is about to be its biggest market, and a failed crowdfunded project gets its first FTC fine. It's Friday, June 12th, and this is Crunch Report. Hello everyone, happy Friday. Okay, so YouTube already pretty much has a lock on viral videos, music videos, news clips, videos about basically everything ever. However, it's been facing serious competition, particularly in the gaming vertical from Amazon-owned gaming network Twitch. You might have heard of it. YouTube just announced a standalone app and site called YouTube Gaming that's focused on video game-related content and designed to specifically compete with Twitch. Because this content already exists on YouTube, building a product around the gaming vertical helps the company focus on a certain group of viewers instead of only offering that all-in-one YouTube product that has everything, but feels a lot less personal. You can kind of get lost in it. YouTube Gaming will have pages dedicated to over 25,000 games with collections of channels, videos, and live streams featuring content from or related to a particular title. The new service will be available in the US and UK this summer, although Google, which owns YouTube, hasn't provided a specific date just yet. Crowdfunding projects are all the rage. You've probably contributed to one or two. But is there any legal recourse when a project that maybe you're raising money for ends up imploding through no fault of your own and all your investors are mad at you? Well, the Federal Trade Commission posted details today about a settlement regarding a board game called The Doom That Came to Atlantic City, which raised $122,874 as a crowdfunded project, but then failed to deliver. So here's what happened. The creators had planned to manufacture and ship the board game back in 2013. Their manufacturer, a different person, was unable to complete the project, and that individual is accused of failing to refund the money and spending, quote, most of the money on unrelated personal expenses such as rent, moving himself to Oregon, personal equipment, and licenses for a different project. The settlement requires this individual to pay back the $111,793.71 that was given to him by the funders when and if his financial condition improves. So, what does this mean? Well, now we know that the FTC can negotiate settlements with creators who have been screwed over or feel that they have. And it could change the landscape for scammers or projects that just shouldn't have been taken that seriously to begin with. Uber is poised to get so big in China that China overtakes the US as the company's biggest market. This is according to a letter from Uber CEO Travis Kalanick sent to investors and leaked to the Financial Times. The company has evidently planned a $1 billion funding raise for China that Kalanick says will help Uber expand into 50 new Chinese cities. Currently, it operates in just 11 of them. But numbers do sound pretty good, at least the ones that come from within Uber. Kalanick claims that the company is logging almost 1 million trips per day across China. Now, if those numbers are true, they're crazy because Uber hit 1 million daily rides worldwide just back in December 2014. He's talking about China specifically. More tidbits that came from the CEO in this letter. Uber trips in China have grown at a 100% monthly compound rate since the beginning of the year, and Uber is creating over 100,000 new jobs per month in China alone. Kalanick also points a finger at its Chinese rival Didi Kuaidi, hope I'm saying that right, which he says, quote, cloned our core product line and is attempting to transition from its legacy taxi business to a similar P2P model. I smell lawsuits on the horizon. The French data protection watchdog CNIL, which in English translates to the National Commission on Informatics and Liberty, has ordered Google to widen its implementation of Europe's right to be forgotten law so that links are also delisted from all Google domains, like google.com, not just the google.fr French subdomain. Now, if you need a refresher, right to be forgotten requires search engines to process requests from private individuals, you or me, who say outdated, inaccurate, or irrelevant information about us should not be part of a search result for our name. Google is the biggest search engine in Europe by a wide margin, it's like 99%. And they started processing right to be forgotten requests last summer, but only by delisting links from European subdomains, like .fr for France or .co.uk, not from google.com. That's the main Google site, right? French CNIL says it's just not good enough and has given Google 15 days to comply with its request or face sanction proceedings. The CNIL also says it has received hundreds of complaints from individuals whose requests for delisting have not been granted by Google. In all the hullabaloo yesterday about Twitter CEO Dick Costolo stepping down from his post, a pretty big feature change on Twitter itself got pushed by the wayside, so we're going to talk about it today. Twitter is a public broadcast service, right? You tweet, it's public for the most part. But it's also a method of private communication, known on Twitter as direct messaging, or DMs, between two or more accounts. Now, until now, DMs had the same 140 character limit that any public tweet had, meaning you either had to embrace brevity, keep it short, or send multiple DMs to get your point across to whoever you were talking to. Starting in July, this all changes. DM character limits will be lifted, and Twitter will allow much bigger blocks of text to be sent in a single direct message, which puts Twitter in a better position to compete with really popular private messaging services, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, WeChat, even SMS, and it keeps the 140 character gimmick to its core public product. And that is the report for this week. I'm Sarah Lane. Crunch Report airs Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on TechCrunch.com. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.